Pam's sidekick, Lindsey Halligan, over there in Eastern Virginia, who's blown out the whole office. She's like firing every person she can possibly fire in the U.S. Attorney's Office, because you have a whole bunch of people that are beholden to the system, so to speak. And by the system, I mean, okay, well, they had their friends. I mean, for goodness sakes, when James Comey's son-in-law is in the office, you want to think that they're really going to be loyal to the president, or are they going to be loyal to James Comey's son-in-law and the quote-unquote system? Donald Trump, never forget this. He's the outsider. He's coming in. They don't like the outsiders. I mean, even if you're going to be a Republican, if you're Mitt Romney, hey, you're part of the club, right? And they weren't so good to him either. Let's be clear. But if they're going to tolerate a Republican, the Republican better be one of them, not some skyscraper building guy, right, who's been on television before. That's not acceptable. So here's Lindsey Halligan, another outsider, by the way, who they're saying doesn't have the experience to do this, but he brought her in anyway, and you've got her firing a couple of women here over the weekend. Beth Usey, Kristen Bird, they're no longer with the office, apparently. This is as of Friday. She had been with the department, Usey, they say, over at CNN since 2007. Now, one source is saying the reason that this happened is because Halligan believed them to be leaking unauthorized information. They were not on her side. They were not on the side of the president. And they were out there leaking like sieves to the press. You got to button down the hatches. You know what? Any CEO that comes into a new organization, if they have people that are not on board and are out there leaking, then guess what you do? You get rid of them, right? Because you're the chief executive. You're responsible, and you got to make sure everybody's on the same team. So they're criticizing her for this. Anyway, she's been firing a lot of people, and she's probably going to continue firing a lot of people. Some of them have just actually stepped down, and by some of them, I'm including the son-in-law of one, James Comey, who recently stepped down just as his father-in-law was indicted. Yeah, that might do it. Two other career prosecutors, someone named Michael Benaray and Maya Song, they were fired apparently in the aftermath of Halligan charging Comey. Apparently they weren't on board with that. You have Troy Edwards Jr. He is the son-in-law of Comey. He voluntarily stepped down under the circumstances. And you have people complaining, like I believe this Benaray, who wrote in a note that he taped to the door of his office after Lindsey came in saying, quote, Justice Department leadership is more concerned with punishing the president's perceived enemies than they were with protecting our national security. I find that sort of amazing, because it seemed to me that for the last 4 years, we had a Justice Department that was truly obsessed. And by the way, even before that, right, you go back to what we were dealing with, Comey, et cetera, we had Democrats that were obsessed with taking Trump down at all costs. And that's all they devoted themselves to, that and DEI. And that was like all that mattered in the world. Now Comey's trying to say, oh, Lindsey Halligan, she can't come after me, because you see, Lindsey is not really in the rightful position. She shouldn't have that position because she hasn't worked in the Justice Department before, so she doesn't have the right qualifications, et cetera, et cetera. And this is his legal theory. This is what he's trying to like get off. You know, he's like, you can't indict me because you're not one of us. Now, I mean, there are certain rules and protocol, just to be clear. She's been sort of temporarily put into that position. She does need to get confirmed by the Senate, this, that, and the other. But hey, she's got the ball and she's running with it. And so even if she hasn't been quote unquote confirmed yet, and she's not like officially there, she's there right now. So she can get the ball rolling. So tough luck, Comey. I mean, you're just going to have to deal, right?